Look! Oh my god! If you want to be a demon of Kendo, I'm going to show you in this video right now. And if you guys enjoy this, be sure to subscribe. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another amazing video. I tend to make videos like this sometimes on certain characters that I like to play and enjoy as, and something that maybe I could teach you guys, how to play and some of the tech that the characters have. I made one on Shinso, and I think I made one on All Might. I'm not too sure. All Might didn't really have that much tech, so there wasn't too much stuff to show on All Might. But I know Shinso had a lot of stuff back then, being able to do the combos. So I like to make these videos on characters that have a lot of tech and combos to them. But you guys let me know in the comments below who you would like to learn. I've been learning a bunch of other characters like Red Kiri and a whole bunch of other combos on other characters. But now we are starting this video off with the one and only Kendo Copter. That's right, Kendo Copter is here. She has arrived and she is ready and well. And I will not lie, she's pretty good. She's more than good, honestly. She's hard. But in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do every single tech that I know. At least I can't successfully show off the mastering of it, but you guys will get the idea of what to do, what it will look like a little bit, and then it's up to you to import it into your own gameplay. Use it whenever you feel like you need to use it. There are some techs that you're going to learn in this video that I think you should definitely use every single time. Others may just be for show. But let's get things started, and let me teach you how to become a demon with Kendo Copter. The first thing you want to do is take a look at her beta. When you hold her beta out, and I'm gonna put on speed up reload so we don't have to wait. But when you hold her beta out and you bring out the shields and then you let go of it, you do a thrust. And usually you use up your entire bar and you have to wait for that slow timer. Now, when you do the thrust, obviously you go a pretty far distance, right? You go from here to about right here, right? That's a pretty far distance. But the one thing that she has with her is that you could roll out of it. And when you roll out of it, you do not use her beta at all. So it will look something like this. Instead of holding the beta, you want to tap it. Because tapping it is another way to, just quickly get somewhere if you want. Now, when you tap it, right before you see the yellow finish its animation, the second you see the yellow glow in the hands, you can roll. And when you spam it right, you can even, make the yellow glow a little bit much. Be careful. You don't want the full animation to come out, but you can see. Now, you don't want to hit anybody. If you hit somebody, it will use it. So this is a move that's more mobility, but you want to just keep on tapping it and roll. When you do this and you do it correctly, you can pretty much become like a little speed demon, and it will not use the bar at all. And just to show you, I will turn off reload settings. Okay. You see, you could just keep on doing it, keep on doing it, keep on doing it. Another thing is you don't have to just tap it. You also could hold it out, and then the second you let the thrust out, you can roll, and it will not use the full bar. As you can see, it's charging right up, right? You could take all the damage you want, and let's just say you're at 1%. You can let it get to 1%, and then you straight up can push out and roll. Now, you want to push out right when you see the yellow hand glow. When you see that yellow hand glow, right before it gets to the full big slap, right? You don't want that animation to happen. When that animation happens, it uses the bar, as you can see. You want the second you see the yellow glow to be able to just roll out of it. There's another thing I will teach you as well, but you want to be able to just tap it and roll, tap it and roll, tap it and roll. And you can obviously move your camera around. It will obviously put you in any direction, so you can pretty much dodge and like instant transmission your way out of every fight. As you can see, like, the movement is pretty crazy, and as the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. Now, again, you got to be careful. You really got to have the timing, because if you press it too quickly and you don't roll enough, like if you're doing it way too fast, you'll use up your beta. But that is how you pretty much do her dash, her infinite dash, you can call it. Where you just keep on, rolling and rolling and rolling. And it's also a great chaser too. If there's someone that's running away, obviously if there's a flyer, it may be a little bit hard, but there's something I'm going to show you that can help you catch up to that flyer. But obviously if someone's like running away, you can chase them pretty much. You could just straight up do this and add speed cards to it. Oh yeah, you're going to go absolutely crazy. Now, there's another thing that you could do with her beta cancellation. and I'm going to show you what it is. So not only can you do the tapping beta and rolling, or also holding out the shields and then rolling right at the very end, the second the yellow's in the hands, right? But there is something else that you can do. You can do a beta right into your gamma, and that will make your movement even much better, as well as allowing you to pretty much like scale an entire football field in the matter of seconds. I saw something that where she was faster than Ida. She outran Ida, and this is how you'll do it. Now, you cannot do a tap into gamma, because the second that you tap, it does the animation. That's why you have to roll. What instead you have to do is you do have to hold down your beta. Now, when you hold down the beta, the second you let go of it, the second you see the yellows, you could go right into a gamma, right like that. Now, obviously, it does create a pretty far distance. Just to measure it right now, we'll stand right here. You'll hold out your shield, okay? You're going to hold out your shield, and then you're going to let go of it and do a gamma and let the full gamma go. You also can hold down the gamma too, actually. You don't have to let go of the gamma, but there's a reason why you might want to let go of the gamma, and I'm going to show you why. But that's a pretty far distance compared to, you know, if you were to do this, you'd have to, like, do it 3 times. You have to do it 3 times compared to 1 consecutive move. Now, you can hold down the gamma, like I said, I believe. You can hold down your shield, let go of it, and then hold down your gamma as long as you want, and you'll go far. You will go down that football field. And you could do something like that too. Now, the reason that you may want to let go, you might want to just tap gamma, is because there is something called a jump cancellation. There are things called a melee, you know, a jump cancel pretty much, which is where you'll melee and jump. You'll melee and jump, and you'll be able to get like 7 hits in on Kendo's melee. I'll show y'all that in a second. But something that you could do, and I haven't mastered it fully, but I mastered it a little bit. Something that you could do is to hold down your shield, let go of it, hold down your gamma, you know, go again on your gamma, just like that, back to back. And that's one way. There's another way where you can actually do this. I'm gonna see if I could do it correctly again. Another way is holding down your shield, okay, letting go of it, gammaing, letting it go, jumping, holding down your shield, and doing it again, and you go much farther. I mean, we went from there to here. So, I mean, that's one way to do it too, because when you're in the air, that's another thing you could do. When you're in the air, you can also, like, thrust in the air. So when you're in the air, you can hold your shield down, let go of it, but then gamma right away. And then you'll go all the way up to the sky, much farther than you would with just a regular gamma, as you can see. I believe the regular gamma will only take you, like, about right here. We were able to touch our head on top of the roof. Now, I'm going to take you back to the good old days of teaching you guys Kendo airlines. But that is how you would do a rush dash with Kendo. Introducing Kendo Airlines. If you played back in the day, Season 1, you know, to Season 3, 4, way before the nerf happened, you will know that Kendo had a thing called Kendo Airlines. And what it was whenever she jumped off of a ledge or used speed cards or was able to climb up a wall, she would hop off of it and do an air melee and be able to go a pretty far distance. Obviously, they took that out a little bit. It still kind of exists, kind of, but not as good as it used to back in the day. And I remember I learned it from people like Metsu. Shout out Metsu. Shout out the Kendo community, by the way. If you're in the Kendo community, you're awesome. I used to not like Kendo myself, but then I jumped into Kendo and I learned it from people like Reptar, Metsu, a whole bunch of people, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely being part of this community. And I played Assault Kendo a bunch of times. I remember Assault Kendo was actually my first character I dropped like 13 kills with, and it was pretty insane. So I do love Kendo, and I was really happy to see this skill set. Now, something about this character is that this character has increased tracking with its melee now, and it also has increased like melee range compared to Assault Kendo. As you can see, I can be right here and melee, and I'm instantly going right there compared to what Assault Kendo could do. Assault Kendo cannot do that. But let me show you how to do the Kendo Airlines. Now, obviously, there's many things that the game has added since that nerf. They have added the ability of wall run. So you can instantly wall run and, you know, jump off of it, or jump off just a regular ledge and, you know, do the airlines like that. But an easier way is what's built into her kit, which you can gamma up to the sky, go all the way up to as much as you want, and then you can melee right out of it. And you could go pretty far distance, as you can see. You could do it again if you want, because you have 2 of them. You can melee right out of it, go as far as you want. As you can see, I keep going far. You just keep on spamming the melee button, and then you just went from bridge all the way over here. Now, let me show you how you exactly do it, because sometimes you can mess up, okay? What you don't want to do is when you're gammaing up, you have to hold the gamma. If you let go of it and then melee, you're getting stuck into place and falling. You will not do the Kendo airlines. You have to hold the gamma down and melee right as you're holding it down. Then you can let go of it the second your melee is happening. But you have to hold the gamma down and then melee. If you let go of your gamma button and then you melee, you're getting stuck in place and falling straight to the ground, okay? And you're not getting anywhere. Now, there are many things that she could do, obviously, with the tech of adding wall runner to your build, or also speed cards being able to gamma, right? Like, you're going far. You also could do another gamma right in the middle of your Kendo airlines. You don't have to wait until you fall. You actually could do a Kendo airline to a certain spot and then gamma right out of it, and that's one way. Or you implement what I taught you earlier, which is the beta, right? The beta thrust into the air, into gamma, into a Kendo airline, into a shield, thrust into gamma, you know, so on and so on. And you can continue it for pretty much a long time. Now, one thing I forgot to mention was with her gamma, when you are doing the shield thrust into gamma, it will consume the gamma. It will consume the gamma, and it will not work. Now, another thing is, not only can you just gamma straight up into the air, but when you do the shield thrust into gamma, you could hold down gamma for as long as you want, then do this, you know, then if you do it enough, you see you could just go right back into Kendo airlines. And then right when you hit the ground, you could continue doing the thrust. And look at that movement. You just scaled pretty much from bridge all the way over here in the matter of like seconds, okay? Not even Ida could be able to go there that fast. So she's got movement, and this was just a little showcase of showing you the movement. I'm now going to show you a little bit of some combos that you can do. So let's go ahead and show you right now. Okay, my bad, everybody. I just wanted to apologize for that last clip. I was sounding really stuffy. I think I was sneezing a lot, so I'm not gonna lie. The allergies, whatever it is happening out here in the world. But on Assault Kendo, she had this thing about her. One of her melee combos, I'm gonna show you some combos that you could do now with Kendo. But one of her melee combos where she would do her full melee chain right into an alpha, and it would do a lot of damage. About 200 damage, maybe with embrittlement 220. It was pretty big. It was pretty insane. Most people would die instantly because of it. Now, this Kendo has something like that, very similar, that you could do every single time, but you got to make sure that you time it right. You want to do something where you do a 1, 2, 3 into an alpha just like that, and you'll do about 145 damage. The numbers didn't calculate all together, but you'll do 145 damage. When you're doing a 1, 2, 3, just like that, 145 damage. You'll do about half of their HP with this combo. You want to make sure that you hit it on the 3rd hit, okay? So you want to hit 3 times and then throw your alpha. Now, you have a little bit of time to do a charged alpha, but it doesn't really hit, as you can see. If you do 1, 2, 3, by the time you do the charged alpha, you probably can hit it depending on their reaction time, depending on the player's reaction time, if they're going to sit there and let you hit it, or if they're trying to get away, you probably can hit it as well. So charged alpha is really good, but if you want something very quick, doing the 1, 2, 3 into alpha is a very quick move. Now, I don't have embrittlement on this build, so obviously that 145 damage could probably be up to 150 with embrittlement and damage cards, so you'll pretty much do a bunch of stuff. Another thing that you could do as well with some melee combos is I'm going to show you right here in a second. Hello, Future Psycho here. I forgot to showcase one more thing. I just wanted to showcase one more thing about the melee combo. You also could do a 1-2 alpha into a beta, and you also do a lot of damage like that too. That will do a lot of damage as well. I believe you could do, again, an alpha into, beta like I showed you last time. So, obviously, do what you have to do in this situation that you gotta do. You also could do that. That was pretty much a 1-2-3 hit alpha. Okay, a 1-2-3. Let me do that one more time just for you to show you. That was a 1-2-3 alpha beta. That does a lot of damage too, so do something like that too. But remember, it can't be on the 4th hit. The second you do the uppercut, you're not hitting anything. All right, the second you do the uppercut, you're not gonna hit nothing. So it has to be before the uppercut. Again, you can pretty much animation cancel it, I believe, like I showed you last time. But they will be knocked down. So again, I think the easier way is just to do a 1-2-3 alpha into that. So remember, implement the combos that you can do because they're pretty strong, they're pretty OP, and you're gonna one-shot them all the time. 1-2-3 alpha, don't let the uppercut happen at all. 1-2-3 alpha, beta, bam, they're damn near dead, just like that. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. So a lot of these combos that you see with Strike Kendo are gonna evolve her melee string, because as you can see, she's legitimately built like a fighting character. Like, she's amazing. So something that you could do, and again, this may want you to add embrittlement if you want. Embrittlement is still good, but something that you could do is you pretty much could do a one-hit melee into an alpha into a beta. And just to show you what damage that's going to do, doing it all together, I'll do it one more time slowly. You want to do one hit alpha into beta. Look at that health. Look at that health. You are doing a lot of damage. You pretty much want to just do one hit alpha into beta, and you'll do 145. I think you could do something like one hit alpha. Nah, it will knock them down to the ground. You don't want to do that, because if you didn't know, her alpha does stagger. You can stagger about 3 times, but on the 3rd hit, it will knock you down. But something that you could do that doesn't involve her melee is you could do a 1 alpha, 2 alpha into a beta. That will do a lot of damage as well. Just to show you real quick without the HP recovery. If you do a 1 alpha into beta, yeah, you're pretty much almost dead. Almost. They got a little bit of room left. So that's another combo that I just showed you real quick that you could do. Pretty much just alpha into beta. I like to do that a lot of times if it's like depending on the situation, because not all the time are you going to be able to go up to them, especially if their team is right next to you. Like, maybe you have to just be real quick and be like, oh man, I'm just going to alpha and then beta into them, and then beta this guy, right? Like, you could do something like that. That way it's very quickly, because if you didn't know, her alpha does go through people. So that's one thing now that you know. But again, you could do a one-hit melee into alpha into beta. That will do a little bit of damage too. The double alpha is probably better, but if you want to do something quickly, you could do something like that. But now, I'm going to show you something that involves her gamma. So, with her gamma, obviously you can hold it down at any time and hold it as long as you want, and then it will do a final slap at the very end. But something that you could do is animation cancel out of her gamma. As you can see, you can roll right out of it. You also can melee right out of it. And you also can, do, no, that's about it. You can't beta out of it, you can't alpha out of it. But, something that you could do is, and you have to time it right, but you can gamma into them for a quick second, hit the slap. As you see, I missed. So it's very tough timing, but you hit them once. Let me try that one more time. I'm going to take off their HP recovery. Okay, you could do a slap, hit them once. You can hit them 2 times if you want even, doesn't matter. You can hit them 2 times. Let me put her health back. But you want to time it right. You want to just hit them, let the slap hit, and then you could beta right into them. Obviously, you have to tap beta, or you can hold down beta if you want. That is one way too. Just in case you want to take some damage that they may have done to you or other people are doing to you while you're hitting this combo. But you pretty much want to do the one hit, the slap. And if you hit them 2 times, they'll get fully knocked down. I believe you could do a slap into a punch into alpha. That's one way too. So if you want that quicker damage, you could do the alpha. Because when you do the alpha right out of it, it's way quicker. You can hit it compared to the beta. You have to wait a little bit. You have to wait like a second, right? When you hit them. Oh, I see. I missed right there. Unfortunately, you had to time it right. You pretty much just let the slap hit them. Yeah, when you do the beta, it's a little bit timed right. But when you hit that beta, you will insta-kill them. You will literally insta-kill them. But I will say probably it's a little bit better to just do the alpha slap into melee into the alpha right there. I mean, the gamma slap into melee into alpha right there. That's the best way to do it. Being able to just go into them, hit the slap, and then right there, they're damn near one-shot. Then by the time they wake up, you would hit the beta right onto them, and they're dead. So those are some of the combos that you could do. I'll go through it one more time just to show you guys a little bit of another look. I'll go through them one more time, but you can obviously go back in the video and watch it. The first combo you would want to do is a 1, 2, 3 into an alpha. That's like a basic one. You also have a 1 hit into alpha into beta. That's another good one. You also have a alpha into beta. That's another good one too. Pretty much same damage. And then you also have a gamma slap into melee hit into alpha is pretty good. Or you have the gamma slap melee into beta will one-shot them. If you time it right, will one-shot them on their wake up. Whatever the case is. Now, she does have some melee combos, and I will try to show my best way of showing you guys. Because there are things like I told you guys earlier, like jump canceling, where she could do 7 hits pretty much. But, I'm not too much of a master at it because I am on PC. I think it's easier on controller, by the way. I do think she is 10 times easier on a controller than she is on a keyboard and mouse because you'll have to change your keybinds. But something you could do, I believe, is a 1 jump cancel. Let me see if I could do it correctly. A jump cancel. You could hit her like 7 times, but again, it's a little bit hard for me. As you see, I hit her pretty much a lot of times there. And at the very end, you want to hit a beta. Right? You could do something like this and then like hit a beta right at the very end. And you'll do a lot of damage as well. Yeah, right there. There you go. You could do something like that. That's another good one. It's pretty much just meleeing and jumping at the same time. So, you know, doing that. But you want to like, again, it's a little bit hard to look at and see. Again, I'm not too much of a master, but I just wanted to show you guys. You could just do something like that. Like, literally just spam your buttons. And that's how you could do that combo, too. And again, I don't have embrittlement. So, with embrittlement, you know, you'll probably do, like, 1,000,000 damage. As you can see, you also could do that. Same damage output. You're doing, like, way more hits. Like, I just did 7 hits, pretty much. I did 7 hits compared to a regular 4-hit combo or 5-hit combo. Alright, you do something like that. Again, they got knocked down at like the 7th hit. It's only 7, but or they'll get knocked down at 4 depending on if you're doing it wrong. So again, it takes a little bit of timing. I would recommend, you know, practicing this because you saw I was able to hit the beta out of some of the moves. So I would recommend like practicing this because I'm even practicing it every single day on my stream, by the way. Which, shout out to my stream. You know, go watch me on stream, but I would practice that every day because if you're able to hit something like that, it would be really good. You also can do an air melee. You know, you also could do that. That also works. You could do something like that, by the way, which is an air melee cancellation. You also could go backwards with it. So you could do something like that. So there you go, combo right there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Legitimately, I know this video is recorded, but that was the first time I ever just did that live. So y'all legitimately could just see what I just did right there. That was insane. You could legitimately do something crazy like that, where you fall, you fall to the ground, and you do a beta. Like there are some crazy stuff that you could do with this character. Right? Like overall, this character is, you know, pretty insane. So, obviously, take all of this tech that I did and I showed you guys, which, by the way, disclaimer, I never came up with any of this, by the way. I may have came up with that at the very end, I don't know. But I never came up with any of this, so don't worry, I'm not taking credit. But I just wanted to be able to show you guys some of the saucy stuff that you could do with Strike Kendo. You know, because this character, I will not lie, it takes a little bit of skill. You know, I think most people that play Kendo are just going to do stuff like this. They're just going to hold down their gamma and let it hit everybody that they can, and yeah, surely it does damage. Or they'll just, you know, constantly be a beta warrior. Now, not everything that you learned today can be implied into a real game, because obviously the way that the other players react but the movement can. I would recommend always spamming this as long as you time it right, because you know you're never gonna be chased, and you're never gonna you're never gonna be chased. You're never gonna like get caught. You're always gonna be able to get away, or you're also always gonna chase your opponent down too. Now again, you want to time it right. If you don't time it right, you know, you gotta be careful. And again, if you want to make it a little easier, you can hold down and then thrust. That way, just in case tapping it is a little bit too much. But that's kind of the best way that you do it. So, overall, I hope you guys learned something today on Strike Kendo. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. But please, let me know in the comments below some of the stuff that you may have learned of her. Some of the best combos, if you learned anything today. And if you want me to, you know, make a showcase on any other character teaching you guys stuff as well. You guys let me know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe and come over to my Twitch and TikTok, that's PsychoUniTR, where we're going to be learning Kendo. We're going to be, you know, using this Kendo a lot. We try to do customs. I love you guys to death. I love you guys so much. Happy 4th of July, by the way. Happy 4th of July. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you. And I'll see you guys on the flippity flop. Peace out, everybody.